How's it going, guys? Today I'm gonna be showing you my Code Talker deck profile, which I'm playing for a year and a half already. The deck went through a lot of modification, a lot of twists, a lot of changes. The idea that I'm gonna be showing you today is from this encoder, but since I played the deck so long, I upgraded what he showed. So I'm not gonna be saying like I just copy paste his thing. I took his idea and changed it in my own way, make the combo with much less cards, which opened me some space for a small matchmaking engine. So let's begin with the deck profile and you'll see what I'm talking about. First, must 3 copies of Lady Debug. This is a searcher. You never can have enough searchers in your deck. Must 3 copies of Nightmare Characteribly. This is one of the main parts of your combo. The idea of the whole deck, so this is a must 3 times. And it's very good if you can start with this. Not with Lady Debug, of course. It's the best to start with it because this protecting you from Nibiru, Imperm, Gamma, stuff like that. Since Ibli is blocking the controller of the card to link to spatial summon anything but link monsters, which includes anything from the main deck, graveyard, extra deck, the whole effect of the card, just like Rivalry of Warlords. That's why nobody can play Ukaji Slumber. Even if the cost is to tribute, the rest of the effects as spatial summon, stuff like that, the Ibli gets the whole effect, so the mechanic just doesn't allow the control of the card to activate such cards. 2 copies of Parallel Exceed. Easy materials, searchable. From the coders, 3 copies of microcoder, 1 copy of code generator, code exporter, and code radiator. All of them can make you link from the hand, assuming that the other monster on the field is Cybers for the link summon. They have effects that can help you. Microcolor, if it's used from the hand, it will search you Signet Spell Trap, which will get you to Signet Codec, you'll see. If it's used from the field, instead you can choose to add also a level 4 monster instead of the Signet Spell Trap. Still you can choose to do Signet Spell Trap, just if it's used from the field it gives you additional option to choose from. Code generator, if it's used from hand, it can mill you 1 monster from your main deck, Cybers. If it's used from the field, you can add that monster to your hand. Of course, it's gotta be with 1200 or less attack points. Code exporter, used from the hand, it can bring you back 1 level 4 lower Cybers back to your hand, or if it's used from the field, you can spatial summon it back to your field. Code radiator, used from the hand, target 1 opponent monster, make its attack 0 and negate its effect forever, while it's face up on the field, of course. If it's used from the field, you can target up to 2 monsters. From the single copies, Kachiri at Ignister, Formut's Keeper, Dotscaper, Backup Secretary, Balancer Lord, Quackwell Vern, G-Golem Rockhammer. All searchable, all gives you incredible options. You know them like Gachiri on the field, first time destruction, each Cybers is protected. Send to the grave, target 1 of your monsters, unaffected by opponent's cards until the end of their turn. So if you use it on your own turn, you got 2 turns protection for your monster that you choose. Foremost Keeper, it can search you level 5 or higher cybers, and it can add to your hand Gechiri, Parallel Exceed, or even G-Golem Rockhammer. G-Golem Rockhammer can use his effect to send you from your hand, while he's in your hand also, cards like Dotscaper, Matmax Sigma, which are usable later. It became level 4, even if it's summoned on the field. So you make it level 4 by naming Dotscaper. Dotscaper is coming back. You summon G-Golem Rockhammer. The effect is that he's tributing himself for cost, and he gives you 3 tokens, which is pretty incredible. Gives you materials for link summon. Dotscaper, as I said, sent to the grave, he can come back. Also sent to the banish, also can come back. Both effects once per duel, and they cannot be used in the same turn, unfortunately. Backup Secretary, she just summoned itself, special summon herself. Just the only requirement that she has is that you have a Cybers monster on the field, which can help you if you need a little bit more juice to finish your combo. Balance Lord, paying 1000 life points, one more normal summon, you can get the effect of another monster from your hand that requires normal summon, or just some extra monster. If he's banished, you can special summon level 4 lower from your hand. Clockwork Vern, normal special summon, having his attack giving you a token. All incredible monsters. Of course, there are much more Cybers monsters you can use in this deck. It gives you a lot of options to play. If you play it long enough, you see the deck can do so much. And about the Matmax engine, Matmax Circular, Sigma, Subtraction, and Addition. You can put second copy of Sigma, of course. Circular, unfortunately, after the ban list is limited only to 1 copy per deck, but it's pretty great. All searchable. You need to play fire attribute for those two, but those two with the light attribute all searchable with signed codec, of course. They can search themselves, like, you know, Matmax Circular setting for cost, dumping, you can dump Sigma, summon itself, effect of Sigma, when you don't have anything in your extra monster zone, you can bring it back from a hand or grave, but it's banished after leaving the field. Summon itself, effect of Circular, searching for Matmax Spell Trap. In my case, I will be looking for Matmax Super Factorial to make exist for replacement. You'll see it a little bit later in the video. And of course, with those two, making exist, bringing Alien version on the field, dumping them as materials. In that way, Sigma will not go banish, since technically as material it was not on the field. So it will go to the grave. The effect will give you the third Matmax, Subtraction or Addition, whatever. Summon it using it for some link or whatever, and basically you already have 3 Matmax in your grave, enough for Super Factorial. The spell cards must 3 copies of signed codec. This is the soul, this is the engine of the deck. Basically, the most easy way to explain this card, which I'm doing with my opponents, is this is like access code, but for searching cards. What I mean is, it can use every attribute once per turn. Of course, it needs to be summoned Code Talker, Link Monster, in order to activate. And if the card is ashed, saying you summon Transcode Talker, which is Earth attribute, you get ashed, you do not search, but after that you bring from your extra deck second copy of Transcode Talker. You get to search because you did not search, so it doesn't count. Must 3 copies. Must 3 copies also of Silent Mining. It can get you any Cybers monster from your deck, which is level 4 below. It can send for cost anything, even monsters like Dotscaper and Sigma, which can later be brought back on the field to be used as materials. 1 copy of Called by the Grave, Monster Reborn, and Salaman Great Sanctuary. You see when I show you the combo why. Monster Bone, of course, it's an extender for your combo to finish, called by the Grave Protection from cards like Ash Blossom, Effect Veiler, Skullmeister, all that stuff. Also forget from the monsters, 2 copies Draw and Lockbird. Very usable card, very helping in this format. Also, the deck is very vulnerable to this card, so I suggest if you'd like, you can make a room for 3 crossout designators, which will be extra protection, like 4 time Called by the Grave, against Draw and Lockbird, because this card is really hurting the deck, as you need to search. This deck needs to search. 2 copies of Triple Tactic Talents. I don't play 3 because it's once per turn. You can add Trust as well. It can get you to some more cards, but personally I don't use it in this build. From trap cards, only 2, Silent Conflict and Matmex Super Factory. Matmex Super Factory I already mentioned, bringing you back up to 3 Matmex monsters. And you can do either Synchro or Xyz Summon. In my case, I'm using it for Xyz Summon. Silent Conflict, Omni Negate, Counter Trap. The only requirement is that you have a Code Talker on the field. But what gives you is it banishes the negated card also until the end of the next turn in which the negated card was activated. Nobody is able to use the card's effect. So saying card like Raigeki, you negated it up until the end of your turn, because we're assuming your opponent activated. Up until the end of your next turn, nobody's able to use Raigeki anymore. So it's a pretty good Omni Negate. Only 1 copy, of course. This card is searchable, and with the new support from Silent Storm Access, it gives you another monster that can search it. Okay, from the extra deck, 1 copy of Primat Mech-Alembertian, Laplacian, and 1 copy of Primat Mech-Alembertian, as I said. This is for your Matmex engine. 1 copy of Firewall Dragon, 1 copy of Access Code Talker, 1 copy of Trans Code Talker, 1 copy of X Code Talker, 1 copy of 3-Gate Wizard, 1 copy of Code Talker, 1 copy of Code Talker Inverted, 1 copy of Splash Mage, 1 copy of Talkback Lancer, 1 copy of Secure Gardener, 2 copies of Summon Great Bailings, and 1 copy of Link Devotee. You will see how they work with each other in a bit. You need all of the cards for the combo, and Access Code, of course, is a boss monster. He can help you win duels, pretty much beater. You can make it unaffected with good cheering, clean your opponent's field unbothered. Yeah. Okay, the side deck, it will be 2 copies of Nibiru the Primal Being, 2 Bestials, Magnamut and Swarm. In my case, you can put even more, they will help you. 3 copies of Santa Claus, 1 copy of Summon Great Peril, as the card can win you matches in time. It's searchable. The effect is that you tribute the power for cost, and it gives you 2000 life points. Three copies of Dark Hope, 2 copies of Lightning Storm, 1 copy of Harpy Feather Duster, and 1 copy of Gaga Cowboy again for winning in time. But be careful with Cowboy because a lot of cards restrict you in summoning only Cyber's monsters. Therefore, if you already use effects like Signet Codec or some of the DAIMEX, you won't be able to summon Gaga Cowboy as his warrior. But if you have Parallel Exceed from the beginning, let's say, easy make as Parallel Exceed summon itself as level 4 and the other copy as well. Okay, time to show you the combo. Basically, you'll need 2 monsters, 3 maybe for start, but with 2 monsters each is the most common. You can finish it with combo. Starting with Lady Debug, with the effect searching you for microcoder. Or the best way to start is with Ibli, if you already have her, or search it with Silent Mining, or search microcoder with Silent Mining, because basically this way from the start when you link summon you already have Nibiru, Imperum, Gamma and stuff like that protection. Even in Master Duel, let's say the opponent play cards like Max C, doesn't have Beastie on his hand currently, but after 1 or 2 draws already have, they are not able to summon any of them at your turn or in their own turn spatial summon, because as I said, Ibli locks the controller of the card to be able to spatial summon only link monsters and nothing else. Okay, so we said link summon, and you're bringing out the field Code Talker. You can play it on the left, make this habit. If you have cards like Parallel Exceed from the start, you summon it here, you summon the second copy here or wherever, and then you need to continue your combo on the right with Transcode, but you will need this zone free in order to bring back from the grave Code Talker, you see. But if you have more code monsters like Code Generator, Code Exporter, you want to use them to summoning Transcode, leaving the Parallel Exceeds on the field to be used for monsters that that are not Code Talkers, because they cannot use the coders from a hand to link summon themselves. So you summon Code Talker and you have effect of microcoder in the grave, searching your Signet spell trap. You're getting Signet Codec, activating the card, and as I said, you have third monster in your hand, or with Silent Mining you search it, whatever, or you have DAIMEX in your hand. But for the example, let's use Backup Secretary. So you summon Backup Secretary, doing link summon, getting you Transcode Talker. Now the effect of Signet Codec is activating, so what you want to add here is your Earth attribute Code Generator, or if you already have it in your hand, you can add Gechiri at Egmister. These are the best two in my opinion. You're bringing back Code Talker, and it's very important to have another cyber monster besides the one you had from Signet Codec to your hand. In order to do this, link summon for Code Talker Inverted, which is going to be chain link 1, spatial summoning your cyber monster from the hand, and it's legal to activate it if you have target in your hand. Signet Codec is chain link 2 to add you a monster, and this can be chain link 3, or you can bring it back to chain link 1 Doesn't matter. The important is that signed codec is activated after code talker inverted. So with code talker, what you want to dump is Ibli to the grave. Or if we started with Ibli, already have it on the opponent's field, simply dumping dot skipper, so you can come back, give you extra material for link summoning. With signed codec, what you want to add is format skipper, and you're going to summon it with code talker inverted in order to get to Gachiri. Or if you already have Gachiri, you can bring Ladybug if you never use it. If you have all 3 copies still in your deck, you can get Balancer Lord, also Light Attribute, even Backup Secretary if you didn't use it from the beginning. You can get Sigma, you can get Circular as well. From here, what you want to do is link summon. It will be Xcode Talker, so it's going to be Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, Format Skipper, and Chainlink 3 Xcode Talker. Xcode Talker's effect is pretty much used to protect your other effects. It's blocking monster zones on the field up to the number of monsters in the extra monster zones. It's the first turn, and you only have 1 monster in the extra zone. You can block 1 monster on either field, blocking your opponent whatever zone. With Format Skipper, as I said, you're getting Gachiri at Ignister, Pure Hint, and with Signed Codec you're adding to your hand Parallel Exceed. Now what you want to do is you can block the effect of whatever of those 2 guys you want. You're doing your link summon for Firewall Dragon, and this will trigger the effect of Parallel Exceed, which will bring you the 2nd copy of Parallel Exceed. Now if you have monsters in your hand, you can use Firewall to summon them. Let's say you have whatever, just say Balancer Lord or anything else. So when you do link summon with those 2 guys, bringing, or if you don't have enough materials, what you can do still is do those 2 Xyz, you see, because you're gonna be 1 monster short if you don't do this. Xyz for Allen version, getting those 2 out, getting to your hand Circular, effect of Circular, dumping Sigma for cost, brilliant on the field. You can get back Sigma, triggering the effect of Circular, getting you Super Factorial. Anyway, you can even, no. Okay, so what you want to do here is link summon Splash Mage. Firewall is already unaffected, choosing it with the effect of Gachiri, if I forgot to mention earlier, when you link summon it. Bringing Splash Mage. Now, here is Splash Mage. What you want to bring back is the Ibli that you dumped earlier in your grave, or if you started with Ibli and you already have it on your opponent's field, what you want to bring back is level 1 or 2 Cyber's monster, not higher, because you need it for the next link summon. Okay, so you bring back Ibli, you're link summoning her into Dogback Lancer. The effect of Ibli is triggering, summoning herself to your opponent's field. With those two, you're gonna link summon 3-gate wizard, and with this card, which is gonna go banish because of its own effect, you're gonna link summon Link Devotee. Now, summoning of Link Devotee is gonna restrict you to link summon from your extra deck any level 3, link 3 or higher link monsters, but you won't need them anymore. You're gonna activate Talkback Launcher effect. The effect is to tribute one Cyber's monster on the field to bring back from your grave one Code Talker where Talkback Lancer is pointing. So you need Talkback Lancer in the extra monster zone, because if it's here, you won't be able to summon anything. So in this case, you're gonna have to tribute Link Devotee, nothing else, because you need the zone free here in order for the effect to be legal. So you're gonna tribute Link Devotee. You're gonna bring back X-Code Talker. The zone is already free that we blocked earlier because X-Code left the field, but we need his passive effect, which is giving the monsters he's pointing to 500 attack points and protecting them from card effect destruction. Now the effect of Link Devotee is gonna trigger. Since the card was tributed and co-linked, as you can see, it will give you 2 tokens. You summon them in defense position, just in case something went wrong and you're not able to continue, as you don't want your opponent to crush his Zibli into one of your tokens, since you're not going to be able to bring them back to 0 attack. This one will have 500 attack points. Because of X-Code Talker, you won't be able to get them to 0 attack point to protect them from crashing with Zibli. With Salman Great Sanctuary, you see what I mean, just in a couple minutes. Okay, with one of the tokens, what you will do is link summon of Salman Great Bailings. The effect of Bailings will trigger adding to your hand Salman Great Sanctuary. You're gonna activate Salman Great Sanctuary. This is a very important card. The other token, you're gonna link summon into another Bailings, and the other Bailings is gonna be link summoned into Secure Gardener. Now notice here, 3-gate wizard has all 3 monsters co-link with him, which is unlocking his third ability, which is once per turn Omni-Negate with Banish, negating the effect of the card. So if they play triple tactic talents, you negate it with 3 gates, they're gonna be able to play second copy of it, but you're gonna decide what you wanna negate with it. Also, the second ability of the card, which is unlocked by having 2 monsters calling to do it, is on your turn you can banish one of your opponent card, getting rid of some set cards. And the first ability, which can also win you a game, is let's say you're second, you managed to went through some interruptions, and you're making access code using some Link 3 and Code Radiator. What will happen is you're summoning it, calling with 3-gate wizard. Code Radiator will let you choose one of your opponent monsters, making it at 0 attack point with no effect, assuming their monster is in attack position. So you have access at 5300 attack points, calling with 3-gate wizard, meaning any monster he attacks the damage to your opponent is going to be double, giving you the amazing amount of 10,600 battle damage. But this is valid only if your monster co-linked with 3-gate wizard. Whichever of those three, doesn't matter. The only requirement is to be co-linked. Is if your monster is battling your opponent's monster. If it's a direct attack, the damage won't be double. Anyway, so this is your end board. You have Firewall unaffected with 2 bounces back to your opponent's hand, or to your hand if you want to get some material back. What I personally do is, when you do normal summon, and I'm expecting that I might use their monster to get rid of my monster in the extra monster zone, so they can free one of the extra monster zone, so they can link summon and get rid of the Ibli. I get it back with Firewall to their hand, and from my graveyard I will get back for the next turn the Chiri to make access unaffected, clear their field unbothered from any set cards they might use, and attack them directly for game. You can make also unaffected 3-gate wizard, protecting himself from cards like Droplet, because with Forbidden Droplet your opponent easily can get rid of the Ibli and make one of your monsters unaffected, and mostly they will go either for Firewall or for your 3-gate wizard, since they're the most dangerous monsters on your opponent's turn. Bailings, if he wants your opponent to get rid of the Sanctuary, he knows what you're using it for. You have in your graveyard the other Bailings, which can be banished when your Salamangreat card is going to be destroyed. This includes the other copy of Bailings. It's an instead condition, so it doesn't start a chain, it's not an effect. Basically, a Sanctuary will be protected at least from one destruction. And what you're gonna use actually the Sanctuary for? The most common for your opponent is, hey, I can turn Ibli into attack and crash it. You know, easy peasy. I will lose only 500 life points, it's nothing, since Bailings is the weakest monster we have on the field. So they're gonna declare attack, and here the effect of the Salamangreat Sanctuary is coming to play. The effect is in the damage calculation, so your opponent will have almost nothing to activate in his turn when you're already in damage calculation. You know, in damage step, the only effects that can be activated are those who change attack points, attack defense points, and the ones who negate effects, the activation of the effects. If they only negate the effect, you won't be able to activate. So only negate activations and changing attack or defense points. So Sanctuary, you're gonna pay when your monster is battling. You pay 1000 life points for cost, and you choose one of your link monsters. You can have Lady Debug fighting. You'll be able to choose one of your link monsters, just saying it to be clear. Making it at 0 attack points and receiving in return bonus life points equal to the original attack of the link monster. So what will happen here is your opponent is declaring attack with Ibli on Salamangreat Bailings. You're paying 1000 life points, receiving 500 back. Bailings is already at 0 attack, and what will happen is that 2 monsters with 0 attack doesn't destroy themselves in battle. So Ibli is still on the field. Your opponent probably is confused because didn't expect that. And at your turn, you got one job, and this is to win. Easy peasy. You can even go battle phase to protect from some effects in the main phase if he has from the hand. Clean their field with axes, obviously. and you're winning. Pretty much that's it. Even if you don't have enough juice to finish on this full board, sometimes if you think hard enough, you'll be able to have 3 gates with the negate. You'll be able to have firewall with transcode, you know, not being able to target both monsters. You have 1 bounce, so you still have options. And the other option that you have, the small engine that you have, these are DAIMEX. So the DAIMEX are giving you is the simple option to have 1 more thing to interrupt your opponent and interrupt it bad. Okay, so you're gonna start with the effect of circular, dumping sigma. This is your starting hand, let's say, or it's the second turn of the duel, you go second, but you still, this has 2 purposes. First is the obvious, to make the combo, bringing out Laplacian and make bad to your opponent, or to bait their negates. Circular summoning himself, bringing sigma. The effect of circular is triggering to get you to your hand, super factorial. Your opponent may use Ash Blossom here, which will give you free room to continue your combo if this was their only negate. But let's say the opponent doesn't have anything. What you do here is, as I said earlier, XYZ, dumping those 2 in the grave. Sigma, in this case, will not go banish because it goes to the grave as material, and technically it was not on the field as material, so the condition for going to banish is not met and the card is going to the grave. Uninversion will add to your hand either additional subtraction or whatever other DAIMEX you put in your deck. Just be careful not to be the same as those you already sent to the grave, because the requirement for superfactorial is 3 different DAIMEX. So let's say you get addition, you bring it to the field, do some link or whatever, and what you have already is 3 DAIMEX, different DAIMEX in your grave. On your opponent's turn, he summons monster, or he activates some field, and then summon monster, whatever. If you want to wait for the complete package of Laplacian, which is to send 1 monster from the monster zone to the grave, sending, not destroying. Same with card from the spell and trap zone, and 1 random card from their hand. This is all sent, not destroyed. So this is the full package, but of course it can be done by removing the 3 materials you're bringing back with factorial, making immediate XYZ summon, and Laplacian have effect on summoning. If you only can do 2 of the stuff, you remove 2 materials as you're not able to remove any more. So let's say he summons monster, you don't want to wait anymore, removing 2 materials, sending this monster to the grave, and 1 random card from their hand. Or same can be done if he activates continuous spell or field or whatever. You can even do only 1 if you want from their hand. If you feel confident, you know, he used a couple hand traps on your turn to stop you from doing the combo. It was unsuccessful. He's left with 3 cards in their hand. You wanna go deeper. You have enough materials to finish your combo, so you can make Laplacian on your turn, sending 1 card from the materials and sending 1 random card from their hand, which will leave them with less cards in their turn. Ibli lock, nowhere to link summon monsters. As you saw, neither Bailings or Talkback Lancer have arrows pointing to your opponent's field, leaving them with nowhere to summon their link monsters if they want to use Ibli or whatever. So this is the Ibli lock, the idea, and small help from the DAIMEX, giving a little bit extra juice, extra power to the deck. Okay, that was it, guys. Of course, you can do some changes. It's a little bit different as you saw my version. Hope you like it. I will, unfortunately, I will change the deck since I'm gonna be playing. The idea will stay the same, just the cards used to get to it will be a lot of different cards since the new cards from the Sandstorm Access. But the deck is pretty fun. I got a lot of first places in my city at locals and very good performances outside. The best that I would say was at YCS France, Lyon, the city of Lyon. It was in February, the last days of the tournaments, just before the ban list at Monday, as some of you guys remembered. So basically what I did there is after 9 rounds played Swiss, I finished at 409th place out of 2,379 competitors, leaving almost 2,000 players behind me. And the guys who went to play the last 3 Swiss rounds, the top 256, there were guys going there with 18 points, so one more win and I might have be able to play the last 3 rounds of it. Of course, my 4 losses was against tournaments. I was able to build 1 tournament though. What I'm saying always, I bet also Sprite there. That was the biggest victories I had in this tournament. But what I also always said is the game is not played only with cards. If you play smart enough, of course, the best hand of the meta deck against the best hand of some rogue deck is much better, but it's not gonna be always the same, you know, the same cards against each other, because this is a game of cards. Depends what you're gonna draw. So if you think you play it like chess, you don't hurry, you don't just copy paste from YouTube, you try to put something of your own in your deck, and try different combination, different things. There's always a chance for you to win, even against the strongest deck, because you don't play the game only with cards. Okay guys, hope you enjoy it. I will see you next time with another deck profile of my decks. Hope you like this one. Leave some comments, like, subscribe, whatever I gotta say on YouTube. And if you have some questions, ask. I'll be glad to answer if I can. And see you next time.